Scott Pierce, Regional Manager for United Electric Controls and Applied Sensor Technologies. What we're going to do now is we're going to build a classic assembly from the sensor toolbox. Remember, a sensor toolbox has all the components needed to take this box and go out to the site where the RTD or thermocouple is and repair it. All the benders, the bender, the tube cutter, the crimper, everything is in here. Once we get out to the site, typically what you'll find is an assembly that looks similar to what I have in front of me. This is just a nipple union nipple with a head. In almost every application, you don't need to break the conduit in this situation. Just remove the cover from the head. Once you do, the two screws that I have already removed from the terminal block come out. Then the next piece of the puzzle is to remove this core assembly. What you have right now is a housing with a spring load and then your wire coming out from your thermocouple. So all I'm going to do is replicate this. It's that simple. So I take this assembly and then I just transpose that length to my new housing. Once I've done that, I take my tube cutter and I score the tubing. I've already scored this piece, so then at this point all I'm going to do is break the tube. Now I'm going to use this end to rebuild my assembly over here. Now once I've taken that and broke it, I'm going to take my crimper, my tube, and my pod. The pod then goes into the housing until it bottoms out. You can hear that bottoming out. And then crimp that tube or the pod down into the tube there. The tube is marked from the factory to show you exactly where you need to do that. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cutters out of the kit. I'm going to shorten my wire size so I can work with it a little easier. The kit includes a grommet to protect the tubing and protect the wires from chafing. Then I'm going to make this a spring-loaded assembly just like the unit I removed. To do so, the kit includes a transition sleeve, a spring plate, and then of course the spring. And it goes together quite simple. All you do is slide the transition sleeve onto your tube. That transition sleeve then needs to be crimped, just as we crimped the pod into the housing. Then I take my spring plate and my spring to complete this assembly, and it is simply that easy to repair. So now that I've got this completed and the spring all the way in place, all I'm going to do now is take this piece that I replicated from this piece, insert it back into my head, which is still connected to the conduit, and then complete the assembly by putting my terminal block into the head. Now keep in mind these pods are calibrated to J's, K's, T's, whatever your plant's using. 100 ohm platinum RTDs, single, dual element, whatever you need, United Electric and Applied Sensor Technologies has available for your needs.